Hi everyone, how's it going? So I can't currently find a piece to my camera stand, so you get to view me in kind of vlog form today. I do apologize for that, but it's the way it's got to be today. The story that I'm about to relay is for entertainment purposes only. All the issues that I had with my first fursuit were not the fault of the maker, whom is not even in the fandom anymore. So they were all practically my fault for spending so little money and for commissioning somebody who was just starting out and seeing if they could actually even make fursuits in the first place. So don't go after this person if you do somehow find out who they are. I am going to be showing fursuit pics from back in the day of me in the fursuit, so it may get back to them. I don't think so though. But yeah, respect the privacy of the original maker of my old first fursuit. And that's that. Thank you for watching. So in October of 2010, 12 years ago, I received my first fursuit. About a month before that, I was practically obsessed with getting one. I was kind of new to the fandom, and it was probably the only fursuit maker that I could find at the time for a price that I could actually afford. They themselves were new to making fursuits, so I thought I was getting it for an absolute steal. It all seemed perfect. What could go wrong? The only thing that I was worried about was getting it in time for a local fur meet. So of course, me being new to everything, I did something you're not really supposed to do, and that was pressure the maker into actually getting it done faster. Don't do this. Art takes time, and it's not something that can be rushed. So yeah, I received the fursuit just before a local Halloween party, and almost immediately I started to notice things that were a bit off. Honestly, I thought some of these issues were normal and that all fursuiters went through this, but yeah. For one, the fursuit was very, very hot and very, very stuffy. It was very, very hard to breathe in it. It was hard to see much of anything in it. I was basically blind. Now, the Halloween party was mostly outside, and I did walk around in the cool autumn air, so it wasn't that bad, but I was still burning up in it. And I still got a headache. And I think it was mostly to do with the fact that I wasn't able to, do that very important bodily function, which is breathing. I'm honestly surprised that I didn't end up walking out into a car in the middle of the road, because I just couldn't see anything. But now that I mention it, I do think that somebody at one point grabbed me and directed me in the right direction, so maybe I almost did. I don't know. At one point, somebody ended up grabbing me, and I think it was like from behind or something where I couldn't see them, and they wouldn't let me go. They just kept dragging me down, and somebody eventually pulled them off, but I didn't even see who it was that pulled them off. I just did not have a good time for my first fursuit outing. I hated it. At some point, somebody kept asking, "What are you? What are you?" And I just didn't have a good excuse at the time for what I was, so I just walked and ignored them. I was a mixture of a cat, a bat, and a fox, so it was like a hybrid, and try explaining that to a normie. At one point, somebody said, "Don't do that again. That was creepy." And I don't know if they were talking about me or somebody else. But yeah, I just couldn't see, so I didn't know what was going on at all. I just felt really self-conscious throughout the whole ordeal, basically. I also really had social anxiety really bad back then. A lot more than I do now, especially on my medication. I'm a lot better, but I still have it. But back then, that whole experience, for the longest time, I did not want to wear my fursuit out at a social event again. I really didn't enjoy fursuiting in general. I barely wore my fursuit after this. The only other time that I wore it was at a video shoot that somebody wanted me to be a part of. I don't remember who, but they wanted to shoot a video for, I believe, the opening scene to a convention, and I was apparently in it at one point, and unfortunately I did not go to that convention because I did not have the money. I was a responsible adult even back then, so I didn't end up going. But I do remember during that photo shoot my head flew off several times because it didn't form well to my skull. So if I wasn't careful and I was doing too much acrobatics or whatever, my fursuit head would just fly off and land somewhere. And I believe that some of those times were added to the bloopers of that video that we shot. Yeah, that wasn't by design. It was sometime after this that I started to notice pieces of the fursuit actually coming off, like the whiskers, and the teeth started falling out. A lot of those parts fell off somewhere when my fursuit head probably was flying off of me, so they landed somewhere on the ground somewhere and they're lost forever. They're probably buried under dirt by now in somebody's backyard. I kept the fursuit itself in a closet for years after that because I just didn't want to wear it anymore. And eventually I had to move, and when I did, I didn't have room for it in my closet at the new place. And I didn't want it messing up the feng shui of the room or anything. So I put it in an outside carport, and I thought maybe I'll just grab it again at a later time and put it somewhere safer, but I never did. And of course the bugs and the copperhead snakes all got to it, and the heat and the humidity, and yeah. Now, eventually, through no fault of my own, my roommates got evicted from that place. So we ended up quickly moving, and the fursuit was left behind in that carport, never to be seen by me again. I often wonder if somebody found it when they were cleaning out that carport. But yeah, I think it's just decomposing in a landfill somewhere. So yeah, I do think it's okay to skip around on quality when it comes to fursuit purchasing, but and I bought this fursuit on the cheap, to be perfectly honest, and it's turned out fine. But there is a limit to this, and if something is a little too cheap, just a little too cheap, maybe save up a little more, maybe get something a little nicer. If somebody is new, very new at making fursuits, of course you want to support them, but also at the same time know that this could happen. Now, I am actually much happier with the fursuit that I have today. I can actually breathe in this. I can actually stay in it for long periods of time. I actually have the heat on in my house right now because it's cold, or apartment. I got used to living in a house, but I can actually wear this thing indoors with the heat on for, my camera now says 23 minutes. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope you understand that my life is a little bit in disorder right now, and I currently do not have the fursuit that I actually want. I still like this fursuit. I'm still gonna keep it, but I really want a Sandra fursuit. I've been told that I should get, eyelids, feminine eyelids, and that will help to make this fursuit more feminine. But I don't know. This has always been a male character. So, what do you think? You think I should make, Cypher female? Let me know in the comments. Also, you may have noticed something in the background. Life changes. But yeah, more on that later. Also, sorry if this video is very dark. My fursuit is very dark and the lighting is up there, and I just wanted to sit down and chill with y'all. I mean, I could do this, but then I can't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Boop. Boop. Boop 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 boop. Yum 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 yum. Yum 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 yum.